Hi guys, welcome back. Now time is 20:39 and we begin now for today's second study live stream. And date is still 16th August 2025 is Saturday. And so we promise open the study live stream at around 37 seconds, but we currently already in the 39 seconds, so never mind. Let's kind of jump into the study content. Yeah. Okay, let's just do it. And I have not much time to do the essay content, so we kind of now if we have a little bit of time, then just kind of only do this, because otherwise the time intensity is very harsh, and to have time to prepare this essay examination. So yeah, let's just yeah study for at least 1/2 an hour, and then to see what's yeah 1 hour is like 10 pages of PowerPoint. So yeah. Okay, fine. Mm. Okay, guys, we now need a little break, and because of LibreText today has not do the um, Unterbrochene session. So, but there is one repoint in Cosmos, and so we kind of need a little break, a bit break. And the reason is that mm, the reason is that I found something like the BK was not a renting company, but always reverse the time back to the last T-1, and the EK the Emmanuel P, and he is a bit aligned with the how do you say that, before last meter, and all is not him, but someone like saying that from the Chinese mathematic point of view, that I only can calculate in the above and below this kind of faster way to solve the problem, and that's not like a big talent or some great gifts and etc. So from my point of view, we bit break. We now break a little bit. Um, I will come back, but my problem is that I still don't think that the one is the before last finita. They already get rid of the charges, and but for example, if we don't declare finance cover all problematics, and so that they're gonna hurt the inner side, and so that in order to avoid that, they kind of using this equation, the forgiveness that was a little bit devastating, and that is 1 2 9 in Chinese, and 6 multiplied with x whole 5. And remember me once in the Bosman and they got extra Übung for the course. And I was thinking that is kind of interesting, because before the line and you should kind of stop. And then one side is that the Iman is similar like Professor Imanu, and similar like that was line with before last meter and kind of destroying. And another problem is that uh, already came to university for 2 years. The Professor Ring, that she is reverse hand to the T-1 like last time point. And I was always wondering, and some persons that are using this kind of strategy to gain the others benefits from. And from my point of view, is really somehow beneficial, and we even can use that to win big rewards. But the problem is only this kind of reciprocity through different time in the day, um, too confusing, to confuse others, like let them think the thing have not achieved yet, already happened, already become impossible. And impossible thing, yeah, and to think the potential which they have already gone. And the past mistake actually does not make much sense. Many mistake, but they think that is goes artist, and so that in order to avoid their destruction, and we kind of now break a bit. Um, One thing is interesting, and while the kind of kitten vegan, and that last week or several days ago, and uh, I was in the previous pages, and they are saying, that it's 3 minus 1, and it's 3 1, and they did reciprocity about this kind of time point. It seems like they are previous several days and already in my current state, and already at this day and 16th August 2025, if I'm not wrong. But the problem is that why they want to processing this kind of time point, like that is only 12th or 13th, and what made they devastating and to kind of pre-use the time point in a further time point. And it was a little bit wondering because like Miko professor has really not using this kind of strategy, and it can also not be that macro professor only use this kind of simple strategy to do the macro thing, to do the macro content. And so from my point of view, I somehow really feel like a little bit devastated. The reason is macro is also not just about different overlapped time periods and how you allocate it efficient about the different time periods resource in order to maximize your utilities. So in this sense, yeah, okay, fine. So in this sense, I feel like confusing, but I cannot let them to continue doing that way. The reason is that I feel my intimacy part. I feel like inner side was kind of a lot of efficiency lost. And for example, we are saying in this way. If, for example, like today when I recall when I have the study live stream end point, like for example, like 2 hours, 30 seconds or 30 minutes, and what gonna happen in the scenes if the live stream be cut it in a way that the things cannot be repeated. And so the only way to dealing with this kind of issue, I think, is to keep moving forward, and and not think reversely. And the reason is, if, for example, like the recorded time and the live stream, and that time can be cut it after the time point when the study live stream is done. And if, for example, like you don't use your further time and to review your content or your live streaming or previous time point, you keep moving forward, and so they cannot get benefits from the cutting your live stream. And so if they continuously not gain the benefits from the cut your live stream, they are to make you angry and feel uncertainty and feel like unsafe. And then why they still continue, what then they, if for example they cut the live stream's time and then make nonsense. Okay, cool, this is easy, like easy to understand, but my point is, um um yeah but how you know that is, for example, like in the simple macro model, that is only like two-dimensional graphics, and you can convert many two-dimensional graphics to multiple dimension. That is kind of no problem. But the problem is only how you know which time point is fuller and which one is previous, and which is your reference object, and you are to let you know what is further time point, which is later time point, which is the previous time point, and etc. So that's sometimes confusing. So from this point of view, and our reality, if you don't think anything, like you only behave in your reality and reality thing and reality objectives, that is easy to achieve. The reason is you don't considering that much about the multidimensional thing, and your reference object is only the physical products and things and etc. That's simple. And the depression ratio is about how this kind of goods be consumed. Like for example, that can be by mid eyes observed if these products, for example, 2SN, one be used and you can observe that it is already used. And another one is new bought, despite which kind of day you bought. And even you don't have any information about which day is that bought, then you can still know what is kind of depression ratios between these kind of two objects, because that is simple. The multi-objectives as well. And so it is kind of simple if you only behave in the reality thing. But the problem is only like if it is that all the immaterial goods, and there is no reference points, like there is no references between any thoughts. This kind of thoughts can exist before another one, and this kind of thoughts can exist now, and this thoughts still not exist but could be happening in a future time point. So it's kind of, this is difficult, and the reason is like kind of like errorize thing, like who you mirror the air, and how and in which way. So from my point of view, this is the most part of difficulty which I confront. So, and you can also say like reference to your memory, and if there's thoughts happening to your previous memory, then is old memory. And if it is like the memory, you checking your memory and you haven't have this kind of thoughts, then be defined as present and as new. But the problem is that you can also not only be fed of high, so to say, mistaken free that in your previous experience. So you hardly know and which kind of time, two time point, and you are not sure about anything, and because you haven't achieved any fixed rewards yet, and so that every time you feel like uncertain about anything, and you said that is obvious. But for example, like someone's graduating from a top university at the United States, and they in their lifespan has less mistakes, and so that you kind of can trusty with this kind of person because you save more time, and um yeah, and so to say, and I mean a male one in another film. My film one recently, film one is not in the top universe. Yeah, the United States, but also a very well Ivy League university, and so yeah, so it's kind of difficult to think of, and um, especially the live stream, which they can cut the time. It can potentially set this kind of cut time into your further time point. So if you move forwards and you reverse back to the last time period, and so if you reverse to the last time period, you actually move forwards, and sometimes it's difficult to understand. Yeah, but we the urgent thing currently is to do in the thing one, solve the problem about Miko and Marco, and solve the thing about Imanu professor and the before last meter, and this tool, and who looked down the technique, the mathematical techniques in China, which were learned in Chinese high school and primary school and etc. And another problem is that the Marco professor together with the before last meter, they reverse the time point to last one, made your efforts all in vain, and how you're dealing with this kind of issue. And so my suggestion, my way and to doing that now is to just leaving the working field. At least you lost less. If you lost less, and lost less means in others reverse things gain. And so from this time point, we kind of should kind of stop it a bit and clean the desk setup, and it's so fine. Um, but there are also not just like random thoughts or some philosophical thoughts. From my point of view, I always follow the professors and want to find a way which is useful and efficient. So, and um, like what is actually works and motivates you, and that's most prioritized to do. And for example, just now I read the article about about this, and this is very interesting. And yeah, I got several points right, and so cool. But I don't want to continue read this. And one thing is something, for example, like blue brew cafe, and you cannot immediately solve this kind of problem. You solve this problem, you need to go to the supermarket or the Asian supermarket and buy the brew cafe and compare them to the same categorized cafe, easy cafe or whatever you want to call it, with a blue bottom color, and etc. You solve this kind of problem in your reality, you should take action. And sometimes not just like wait and to see what happened. It's very time. It's very kind of like physical efficiency is lost, and I would rather to be a assistant person to the professor side, for example, and that's always getting the benefits. And so from a time this time point view, and I will say that yeah, that is cool. Uh, but we're gonna find a way out in how to preventive side and be preventive, and to at least protective be protective thing, have the protective sense in the sense not lost any efficiency in while the studying. And since yeah. um what I just now got the point. I won't tell you. I somehow forgot already. And look the picture, like look at the picture, and in my notes that there left some hints. For example, like the double eyebrow, and then I was made that in a gray, light gray color. And in the graphic of it, about this article, they are saying like FMTHC and FMTGBX, and there are four categories. One is career. I don't know is the medical expertise name, like carcinoma, and one is HGD and LGD and normal and etc. And the pathological diagnosis and is like till 100%. And the p-value, I would say p-value is smaller than 5%. And this wonders me, and I wondering whether they are using the p-value, and the p-value the basic not just the basic value, but why they are here kind of using the 5%. Is that the p-value? I'm not sure, because p-value only in the introductory parts about the econometrics, and so I was not very sure about this. And another problem is so that's the two problem which I want to solve, because that's kind of very hard. And from the intimacy part here. And another one is that sham and the GBX. And there are four actually cooperated sham and cooperated GBX and GBX charm, and charm is like the shaman, and so to say, one psychic, and this will be could be observed. She's from Taiwan, and we connected for a long time, and but I haven't finally got her assistant in years ago, and then we disconnected, and recently we somehow relinked in some extent. Okay, cool, and then we continue skip the articles fast and to see what's afterwards, because that's kind of really hard. And today in my description, actually I involved one in the German description, the beta, and afterwards they using the alpha, beta, and into article. And the reason why I chose the beta is because that one Spanish exchange students who we lived before in the same student for Heim, that he is Jose Maria, and so that the beta factor that is very devastating time point, which in my memory, and so I will say, and afterwards, every time when I feel like a bit devastating, and he gonna show, and etc. He kind of a supportive person, and okay, so let's just continue read the articles on the website. Yeah. And as well, the beta factor together with FXR and etc. Oh, okay. Okay, good. So we're back to the PowerPoint to study. Mm, OK guys，我们现在要稍微休息一下，马上等会儿回来。 Okay, guys, we are back.现在呢，就是时间已经过了12点了，然后我们只有20秒 back to the stage。然后刚才我们就是了解了好多这个，我不知道要怎么形容。然后就是用一个我们现实界的一个小的一个物品，然后把一个较复杂的一个场景，然后全部它的意义都浓缩在一些 single product 里面，然后对整个的一个对整个的一个就是宏观的局面，然后有一个这个 growth 的一个理解，粗略的一个理解。然后呢，我发现了很多其中的一些奥秘，然后这很难解释。然后就是我之前在开带的时候，我都一直开错的，然后这么长时间我一直都没有发现。然后其实它是从底下，然后你如果按照那个他们粉发供上面，然后包装上面的指示，然后你去正确的做这么一件事情的话，可能会需要比较多的时间，但是最后的话结果会比较好。如果你因为时间比较紧张，然后比如说按照以前的方式，或者是以其他的方式打开一个包装的话，你可能后续的话，就可能需要很多时间，然后去承担这些错误所引发的一些后果。所以现在我们就 continue。嗯。 好吧，这里有一个quotient vegan，然后我们把它再写一遍。OK， 然后其实不是非常难，然后呢，我们先睡觉吧，然后因为明天再说，那个就是我们平时的一个，我觉得好像思维不太一样，然后因为我写的是8x+1，然后是错的，然后他们的这个是上下都有一个方程，然后方程是底下那个方程比较简单，然后你直接给平方就好了，然后上面的这种方程的话是先给上面的方程，然后求导，然后乘以下面的方程，下面的方程不变，然后再减去上面的方程不变，然后乘以下面的方程，然后就是一个 rules， 然后so 我们现在就 close study actually and see you guys in a later time point or tomorrow. Yeah. So